What's up, you guys? My name's Noah. I make music as Haterade, and you are watching The Productive Producer. So I've talked about creative block on this show a couple of times, and I shared a few different ways that you could overcome that. But I think I made a mistake. In those videos, I gave creative block way too much credit. In today's video, I want to talk about why it's not even real. Before we do that though, if you're having trouble finishing music, go grab my finishing music checklist in the description of this video. If you're sitting on a bunch of unfinished music, and we'll help you finish way more music than you have been. And join the Discord. We're hanging out there all the time, sharing music, samples, track feedback, all that stuff. So why would I think that creative block isn't real, right? You've experienced it. I would say I've experienced it, like times where you sit down and you feel like, oh, I can't think of anything cool. I can't come up with anything. My ideas are crap. This session wasn't like the last one. All of these are just lame excuses for not creating. I don't think creativity is a force outside of our control. I think it's partially influenced by our opinions of the work that we're doing right now. I mean, one day you could be thinking that this is a really great track versus another day you think it's terrible, right? I'm sure we've all had that in some sense when we're producing one day and listen to it like, yeah, this is awesome. Then listen to it 6 months later and go, oh my gosh, that was terrible. Right? It's all a matter of perception. You know, you didn't think you had creative block then, but if you made this 6 months later, would you have creative block then? It's the same song, just your perspective of it was different at two different times. And this is what I brought up in some of my other videos too, that creativity is just about making something. It's not about whether or not you feel it's good or not. Think of how many times that you played a song for somebody where you're like, hey, check out my song, and they go, that sucks. Even though 10 minutes earlier you thought it was awesome and you were so excited to show them. Or the opposite effect. Somebody asks you, hey, play me what you got. You know, I've got this thing, and it's kind of lame, and then you show it to them, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. You got to put this out. That's happened to everybody who does any sort of creative work at all. I think creative block is more of an excuse. When an artist is facing resistance, which is a callback from The War of Art. If you haven't read that book, I've recommended it so many times. I've did a whole review on that book, if you check it out here. It's really about just prioritizing your work and showing up to do it. Being a perfectionist about your work, saying, oh, it's got to be perfect, it's got to be just right. You don't have to share the work with anybody. The ideas can stay in your computer for as long as you want them to, but over time, you're gonna produce enough to where you're gonna produce quality material. There was an experiment done on a photography class. I forget which college it was. It's killing me. I can't remember it. Where half the students were graded on how many photos they took at the end of the semester, and then the other half was graded on the quality of the one photo that they submitted. So they had the whole semester to take one perfect photo versus everybody else who just had to take as many photos as possible. Overwhelmingly, the result was better photos from the side of the class that had to take as many photos as possible. And really all that means is that you can theorize about what's going to work all you want, but you really don't know until it actually goes out into the world, or you've actually shared it around to other people and have a body of work to compare to. If you just have that one piece, the one that you've been taking so long to work on, the one that you've been, oh, I just need to tweak the mix a little bit more. That's holding you back from progressing. Having creative block doesn't mean that you've run out of creativity juice. So what's the point of this video? Why am I ranting and raving about this? I think that too many artists out there are letting time slip away from them. You only have so much time in your life. The only reason why you got into making music is because of the way it makes you feel. And you want to replicate that feeling for yourself and for other people. Stop letting something like creative block, something that I think doesn't even really exist, get in the way of doing that for yourself. It's not worth it. Get in the studio, make some music. Talk to you guys later.